Hey guys, so I was finishing the first volume of The Vampire last night. My edition is 2 volumes. When I thought, I have so many feelings about this collection that I might as well talk about all the books that I'm gonna be reading during this year because I plan to go through most of the books that I have. So here we are. Little parentheses or like story time here. I found this collection while I was like in high school, I think, and I was on my gothic phase. Now, I do not like when people say phases because you are a teenager, you have to explore things in a safe way and see what you like and you don't like. It's not like I don't like gothic stuff now. I have too many cats to be always in black, and my skin really doesn't like makeup. That's the only two reasons why I'm not actually dressed as exotic. Plus, I don't have any patience to do makeup or hair. I'm lazy. Okay, I'm very lazy. Anyway, uh, I was in gothic phase, liking all the vampires and that thing, and somebody told me to read The Queen of the Damned, and I started there. And then I found out there were more books, went back and found the first one. And the first one, as you guys know, is The Interview with a Vampire by Anne Rice. And this book, I loved them. I loved this when I first read it, and I love it to pieces now. It's precious, precious baby. Um, this book is about how Lois Dulac became a vampire, basically. Why was I hesitating on that? How Lois became a vampire. Uh, this book is literally an interview because Lois meets with a young journalist and he tells him, "I'm a vampire. I want to tell you my story. Hear me out." And the boy actually hears him and does the interview and listens to all his story to the point where they are at the moment. That I think it's 1980s, around that. And this starts, or Louis' history starts in New Orleans. Uh, his family is French. Went there to have business and live and all of that. And the point that when Lestat finds him, he's not in a good space. um, there has been death on his family. He himself wants to die, kind. Basically, he was very depressed, dealing with grief and all of that. And Lestat needs a place to live and needs some cash, so he goes to Lois and he's like, "You in a rough spot? You are a very pretty guy. Probably gonna give a pretty vampire. So hey, do you want to become a vampire? It's either that or I'm gonna kill you. You have a choice anyway." Kinda like that. Just I'm paraphrasing here, as you guys might again have guessed. And Lois is like, "I want to die anyway, so might as well." And then things go from there. Now, this is a vampire story. It is a bit of a romance. I mean, nobody can say that there isn't a thing with Lois and Lestat, but it's also like a tale of a very dysfunctional family or couple when one of the parts of the couple is very depressive and has some issues, and the other part is very manipulative. Yeah, manipulative is probably the good point. And they, of course, do what lots of struggling couples do. They get a child. It's literally that. It's literally that story. And it's amazingly done. It's very sexy. The descriptions. You don't have sex because they are vampires, and I don't want to on this video extrapolate how a vampire would actually go about it. But that's not a thing that happens, at least in the book. You can imagine if it happens, if that's your thing. Um, but the descriptions are so very sensual. It's like it's even better if there was any hanky panky or devil's tango. The sheer sensualness of things that happen, it's amazing. And the story is just really well done, and the characters are really well developed and explored. It's never bored. There's always something happening. There's just so much happening on this book. In this book, it's not that big. This version is like 276. That's a number. Uh, but yeah, really thoroughly enjoyed it. Now this book has the good thing that this is Louis' perspective on things. You only get like the inside of Louis, how he sees things happen, how the interactions happen, and what he reads of that, what he sees, what he perceives. Louis is not a regular bloodthirsty vampire. He's really human in several ways. He's described as like a vampire that has not killed his human part. He still has a lot of humanity in himself, a lot of depression, a lot of like feelings, a lot of things happen. So his perspective on things is really flawed, and sometimes you see that his first impressions of something is like you feel that there is missing, something is missing here, and that is very well explored, as we're gonna see when I then come back to talk about the vampire Lestat. Because why you remember, if you never read this and gonna start here, Lestat goes to be the protagonist of all of this series. Like he is the main force after this book, and at least at the other two, I'm pretty sure that they are. And after the Queen of the Dam, I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly on the other books how much vampire that is, but he's pretty much the favorite guy. Let's put it like that. And the impression that you're gonna have from Lestat here is not totally right for what you're gonna have when you get here, because here is Lestat telling his story. Just so remember that this is the eyes of Louis, but still Louis is precious. He's my precious boy. I want to protect him. I also really like Claudia, the little child, the little vampire child. That was a concept that I really liked when I saw this, the fact that they were a vampire child and how it was explored about the years passing and her mental state and all of that. Loved it. Again, really recommend. This is for me a 5-star read. I was pondering if it was really a 5-star, but it is. I mean, it does have some, at certain points, they do not describe how they get rid of old bodies, and I was like, how exactly are you guys maintaining your facade of humans and all of that, and the bodies? And but then I stepped back and I was like, that's not the main point here. The main point here is just what happens between the characters. The fact that they are vampires and kill people is just extra almost. Because, yeah, that gives us another way of dealing with things, but it's, it's it's sometimes really not the main point, but it is strange because it feels so human sometimes, and this is vampires. Not sure if I'm making any sense, but still, very much recommend if you guys haven't read, because this is like the vampire series that started it all. But hey, if you haven't read it, please just and then just if you haven't read and you go read, then come on my comments and tell me about what do you like that and who is your favorite character, because I need to know those things. If you have already read it, just go on my comments. Let me know. What do you think of it and who is your favorite character? Are we Team Lewis? Are we Team Lifestyle? Are we Team Claudia? I don't know. I need to know. Anyway, thank you all guys. Bye.